technology, the contributions of specific designers, and the development of new modes of interactive storytelling. He explored comparisons between video game and film and serial television and literature in their relationship to genre, structure, and audience engagement, and wrote critical analyses of specific games that used the video game's unique capacity for immersion and interactivity to engender powerful, character-driven emotional responses. I'm really excited to see what comes out of his time in the MFA in writing, and I know we'll hear more from him. So,
Suzanne, would you come and present your graduates? Story that the world so desperately needs. So Chloe came into my office, you showed up, I hadn't had a chance to play with you yet, and you said you wanted to facilitate the whole systems movement. And I say that you succeeded. You've become a network entrepreneur, a wizard who engages groups to become vibrant nodes of social and ecological transformation in a larger network of global communities and companies. So I dubbed the wizard. You came into my office 7 months ago intending to write a senior study that would enable you to become a consultant in the field you called the whole systems movement. This movement, which consisted of intentional communities, included also eco-villages, permaculture farms, and transition towns. In the end, and through tears, smiles, an open heart, and focused mind, you decided to focus on the art and skill of group facilitation, and how this process would be applied to the whole system groups you worked with and want to consult with. Chloe had already been dwelling with juicy eco-villages and other groups, including Synergia Ranch and the Valhalla movement. She was yearning to help them achieve social connection and synchronization, so they pull their wagon together, so to speak, to better achieve their vision, their mission. Facilitation, as Chloe writes, is a skill crucial in any structured social setting that guides people towards clarity and harmony while achieving a specific goal. She goes on to say, having the experience of living in thriving communities has been crucial to my development, yet writing this paper, the whole systems network in my place as a facilitator, has excelled this growth tenfold. Maybe we'll say 100-fold. Congratulations, Chloe. May your work help strengthen the whole systems network tenfold, maybe 100-fold. Your skills are urgently needed to support sustainability of socially diverse and ecologically sound grassroots communities, so we might learn how to better live together in harmony with each other and the earth. Your growth and evolution as a facilitator and human being has been influential in my own growth as a facilitator and human being. Learners like you and all the others graduating today are what gives us active hope. Congratulations.
Thank you, Suzanne. Suzanne really pushed me. It was probably my most challenging semester, and I loved every minute of it, so thank you. And also thank you, Karen Stupski, for being my second reader. And thank you for all of my other Goddard advisors who reacted to my questions of, how do you save the world? and channeled that energy. And poked holes, even though they fully enjoyed and loved, like Suzanne was saying about like the urgent need that we have. Like they realize that, but they also are like, be realistic, Chloe. You can't just be idealistic. You can't be so full of yourself that you think you have all the answers, but you can't go around just questioning. You have to find that balance, and they helped create that container. And I really feel that's what Goddard is. It's a container in which I can paint my own future and paint my own now. And show me all of the means and all of the parts of who I am that I didn't even know existed. So thank you to my Goddard community. And thank you to my family, the ones that are here, and the ones that are far and are watching me, hopefully right now. I don't think I could have done it without you. And thank you to all of the communities that I've been a part of, and the inspiration of the Valhalla movement, the inspiration of Synergy or Rants, and all the ones in between when I went on my crazy journeys to find myself and to find a way that we can all coexist. And what I really think needs to be our future is to live in community, to share resources, and to share love. And I think I really found that where I live right now in Austin, Texas, at a place called Camp EZ. And they really supported me the 2 years that I spent at Goddard, and when I went back to Austin, Texas, they really held me up, especially through the traumas that we've been going through the past 6 or so months. I really reached out to them. So thank you to all of my community, near and far, and all of my family and advisors.
Shannon's calm demeanor fool you. She is one of the most passionate women to graduate from Goddard in the world of food and sustainability. So, what do the words vegan, plant-based, animal rights, factory farming, social justice, climate change, and food systems have in common? They all belong to Shannon's thematic framework for her senior study, Intentional Eating, Reducing Harm with Every Bite. This explores the choices individuals have about food and how this impacts personal, social, animal, and ecological health. This morning, during her enthusiastic presentation with really great vegan chocolate chip cookies, she explained the science behind the direct relationship between agricultural industry and climate change, and also enlightened us about the link between chocolate consumption and child labor, exploitation in cacao-growing areas, especially in the Ivory Coast. In speaking out against Nestle, she said, "Don't buy their water. Don't buy their chocolate." You hear that? Her voice quivered as she shared her compassionate plea regarding the need for intentional eating that truly does reduce harm to people's and non-human nature. Her study not only provided a clarion call for greater human rights and ecological practices within agriculture, but she also developed and tested original plant-based recipes, creating a cookbook and mouth-watering photos. Her cashew nut, rather than dairy-based mac and cheese, has now become a staple in my house. I actually had to stop reading her packet one day and begin cooking her mac recipe, really. And I sent her photos of the whole ordeal. Try it. Following in the footsteps of Frances Moore Lepay and others, Shannon is one of the giants for showing the relationship between people, planet, and good food. Thank you, Shannon. Thank you for bringing their health and sustainability in such a dignified way, and for teaching me how to cook your way. Congratulations.
Know what my plan is. Very much. Thank you to Catherine, my second reader and my first advisor, for all of your wisdom and your patience. I didn't know how to write a critical paper when I got here, and I didn't know that until I tried. Thank you to my friends and family, especially my parents, for really just backing me up, and to my partner Ryan for supporting me in so many ways. And thank you to the Goddard community. I showed up here just because I wanted to finish the college degree that I started a million years ago. And what I got here was this community of people who are so passionate about changing the world for the better. And it's really kind of like helped me to find my voice and to start me on a path that is a lot more meaningful than just the piece of paper that I thought I came here for. So, thanks.
Comes from your dear friend Pam. She sent it in her absence as a way of wishing you deep transformative ritual space, which you so are ready for and you have come through. So we're about to bring up some leis that come from one of the islands in Hawaii. And in the tradition of the people from that island, they use these leis to consecrate transformative celebratory periods. So we'll bring these up for Anna, as Anna and her friend Pam have arranged. They will be with her as part of her graduation. You are, Anna, the embodiment of courage and bravery, and we're so grateful you're here, that you made the trek, despite your hesitation and doubts. We're grateful you joined us and shared with us today about your learning journey and your healing journey. We rejoice not only in your graduation, but also in your emergence as a narrative and poetic medicine guide, the author of your own freedom. We will miss your fiercely courageous and calming presence during undergraduate residencies, and we are so glad that your daughter is also with us. Maybe she'll come back as a daughter. Anna's senior study, a distillation of my story of being human, integrating art and science to heal trauma, is an anthology of her creative writing, including poetry, creative nonfiction, and memoir. Her accompanying context paper succinctly explores the healing principles and practices of narrative medicine and deep relaxation. In her research, she deepened her understanding of the science and psychology behind narrative medicine and the unique capacity of narrative medicine to help resolve and transform complex trauma for the writer. Today, in her presentation, she taught us that story making is not only how we make meaning, but how we can remodel the source of our own traumatic experience in our brains through neuroplasticity. She also taught us about the physiology of stress, narrating systems of the body with the voice of a poet and a scientist. Anna writes about her healing journey to become a holistic practitioner in a range of modalities. In her public speaking, she also shares with us her wisdom. She says, "Human beings are innately capable of holistically healing the negative conditioning of stress and trauma by engaging the parasympathetic nervous system and its corresponding relaxation response. Holistic healing modalities such as narrative medicine can be utilized to heal the psychophysiological impacts of stress and trauma and to return the mind and body to homeostatic balance via neuroplastic reconditioning. And I would add to that, to restore one's soul and beauty. This senior study," she goes on to say, "this process in and of itself was a practice in narrative medicine, instrumental to my own healing process as well as the achievement of my degree. I will continue to explore my personal work and healing, as well as expand my practice as a healer and writing facilitator." Congratulations. A deep bow to your essential healing, courage, and emergent capacity to facilitate others to also heal.
So I began this degree 14 years ago, and I finished this degree now in the same body, but a different person. I'm really in order to achieve this degree, I had to overcome things that I was told I would never be able to do. I came here because I wanted to know why my life was the way that it was, and why my body and my mind had suffered so much because of the traumas that I endured. And I thought there was a reason out there that I was looking for. And realized, just like it says, that I had to live that question out. And I'm still living that question. And the answer is not out there. It's somewhere inside of me. And that's one of the greatest gifts of achieving this degree, is learning that. I didn't have to live looking for answers everywhere that I turned, and getting disappointed when I didn't find them. Over the course of the past 14 years, there are too many people to thank for coming into my life and for leaving my life to allow me to get to where I am today, to be present here today against so many odds, and to have healed so much that I can live a functional life, regardless of being chronically ill, regardless of being physically disabled. And for that, I am eternally grateful, and very much looking forward to moving forward with my career, with the master's program questions and to help other people to live the questions so that we don't get stuck looking for answers that don't necessarily exist outside of ourselves. Thank you to everyone that came here today to support me. Thank you to everyone who could be here to support me, but is here in spirit. And I have no idea the things that will come into my life over the course of achieving this degree. And I'm grateful for those two because now I can move forward. And I'm grateful for that because my brother is an angel now. And I'm a protected person. And I'm here anyway. And 14 years later, I'm done with this degree and ready to move on to the next. Thank you.
And the body, mind story, and looking and finding some authors, but not quite finding what you were hoping to find, and you made it. You created it. So your senior study is the emergence of the very book you were looking for upon your arrival at Goddard. So as a creative sort, you filled the gap and made what you were missing, what you were looking for. I wonder what you will create next. You can be sure when other students show up in my office looking for that book that I'll have one now on somatics and what not. Rusty's Social Bodies, the Shaping of Internal and External Worlds addresses the question, how do dominant cultural narratives from religious to economic and gender norms and more shape ideology, beliefs, and the body. Rusty explored, for example, how participation in evangelical Christianity had provoked traumatic beliefs, emotional anxiety, and neuromuscular constriction, aka lots of pain. Years later, Rusty would untangle the fear-based fire and brimstone narrative of evangelical Christianity, saying, quote, "This problem of mine, to a huge extent, was that I existed in a problematic paradigm. It wasn't me." Once Rusty recognized the problematic narrative was not a personal pathology, Rusty transformed the toxic and fundamentalist narrative into a more loving philosophy and a freer body. Following a profound personal transformation, the learning journey continued with extensive engagement with somatics and critical theory, including studies linked with the Straussy Institute, theater of the oppressed, affect theory, generative somatics, and so much more. There's an endorsement on the back cover, which I'd like to read. Social Bodies, Shaping of Internal and External Worlds not only provides a map of the author's journey to free body and soul from oppressive institutions and traumatizing narratives, but it also serves as an elegant philosophical and practice-based guide for others. Entering this book makes it possible to recreate our world one body at a time. Rusty, may your words and practices bring ease and dignity to those marginalized and most harmed by dominant stories and structures. Buy this book. Learn from this human being. I give you Rusty.
The endorsement on the back of the book was written by Susan. Really extremely thankful to Suzanne for encouraging me through this process. I feel like I came to Goddard with a lot of questions, and as people have said, instead of the advisors giving us a bunch of books to read, they kind of asked us to look inside ourselves. And I think it helped me to really trust in my own self. My book is a study on emotions and how it's really helped feeling to cry. So. I'm just really thankful for this community and the profound trust that it gives us to explore life for ourselves and on our own terms. It's just such a shifting of the narrative of other universities and institutions that I've been a part of. I'm thankful to Nima and Otto for being my advisors that sort of ushered me into this process. And those semesters were really fun, just exploring from all different aspects and having no idea where I was going with anything. So thankful to the community, all of these wonderful people. A lot of us started the program together 2 years ago, and we're finishing together. Super inspired by everyone's work here. I'm thankful to be a part of this community. I'm thankful to my parents for coming up from Florida to be a part of this day. And my best friend Mariah for coming up as well. Thank you.
So I believe Tracy is in Austin, if I'm not mistaken. So we send our best thoughts and feelings her way as she's graduating today also. Tracy's senior study, entitled Living in the Shadow of Death, Reflections on Life from a Culture of Death and Dying, consisted of a moving anthology of stories from her years of working with death and dying as a hospice nurse. Her poetic tribute to a range of individual clients, often read as detailed eulogies, as if written by a theologian. She put into first-person language her own experience of working with questions of mortality, suffering, the limitations of allopathic medicine, bedside nursing care when palliation is not working, and the afterlife. In the end, she succeeded in deeply touching all these absorbing and contemplative topics. From Tracy. We live unprepared in so many ways for the only test that we are all assured to take in this world. It is as if death is shrouded in mist, unavailable to be seen, unable to be looked at, like a mountain, only viewable for those of us about to climb it. But I propose that this should not be the case. I propose that death is a teacher here, next to us. Congratulations to you, Tracy, and anyone you work with is really lucky to have you by your bedside.
Eva, could you come up and present your graduate?
In his senior study, entitled Subsistence, Capitalism, and the Human Nature Relationship, Lessons in Economy, Ecology, Value Systems, and Thought, through Hunting, Evan fully explored the meaning of Goddard's triad of knowing, being, and doing. The study was comprised of a farm that Evan began and ran while a student and still runs, accompanied by a context paper for that creative project. The farm provided Evan with the means to explore and, quote, describe capitalism and how its inner workings affect our perceptions of nature and our relationship to it. The written thesis drew on theoretical fields such as political economy, political ecology, and cultural studies of the concept of nature, as well as scientific research in areas like genetic engineering, environmental toxicology, soil science. In addition to examining the economic, social, and ecological systems that his farm must engage with in the modern U.S., Evan also reflected on his personal process of starting a farm. He had hypothesized that creating a farm would be an economic and social means by which he might directly engage in subsistence and build a responsible and sustainable alternative to a capitalist existence. His successes and failures, and his personal epiphanies of how unconsciously internalized capitalism is for those of us who live in it, brought him to what he called new understandings and revelations of the nature of economies and what a sustainable post-capitalist society might look like. Evan documented his farm project through photographs and blueprints, showing the abundance of food and beauty here, but also the work and frustration here. Because one of the I want to be advertising. I witnessed him from being a new student with an unerring gut feeling that something was wrong in our studies relationship with nature, to being graduate, articulate and execute what that pro in it, where it comes from, and some things we can do. Congratulations, Evan.
I'd like to thank Eva for bringing in and out of here. She's me changing a lot of different I couldn't ask for a better person to bring me in and out. I'd also like to thank Karen Werner for being my second reader, being my third side of the argument, really putting me in perspective. I'd like to thank my mother for teaching me the value of real food. She's the reason I want to be a farmer. I'd like to thank my dad for just giving me all the practical skills I need to take care of myself and be a more subsistent individual. Last of all, I'd like to thank everyone at Goddard, all my fellow students, alumni, for helping me change and just helping me think differently. I don't know. You guys are the greatest, most inspiring thing I've ever witnessed. Thank you.
Echo Evan's final words, which are the most inspiring thing I've ever witnessed. Can we just give a round of applause? Our president to confer the degrees. Remain standing. This is your big moment. This is it.
It's interesting to be the last one here between you and that actual completion or dinner, whichever one. I do this quite often, and I'm actually inspired every time I do it, so thank you for being that inspiration. As you know, one of the messages of Goddard is that we ask you not just to come here and learn for your own sake, but actually to take value-based action in the world based on what you have learned. One of the thinkers who was the foundation upon which Goddard's education was developed was John Dewey. John Dewey made, I think, a kind of a prescient kind of statement. The freedom, which is the essence of democracy, is about all the freedom to develop intelligence. Intelligence consisting of judgment as to what facts are relevant to actions, not the altered facts, and how those facts can be used to lead us to appropriate action. And I think you all in your work are the exhibits A, B, C, and so on, of how the perceived knowledge that has been given to you, turn that into what does it mean, how do I act, and then ultimately take those actions in the world. So with that, and you are already standing, with that I will do my official duties, and that is the conferral of the degrees. So listen as I read this. By the authority vested in me by the Goddard College Board of Trustees in the state of Vermont, by the nomination and approval of the faculty of Goddard College, I hereby confer upon you the degrees of Bachelor of Arts in Individualized Studies, Bachelor of Arts in Health Arts and Sciences, and Bachelor of Arts in Sustainability with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Congratulations.
Food downstairs and a meal, but please let the graduates and their families go first because it gets to be a long line, and the rest of